On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu holds closed-door talks with security chiefs. In business, inflation surges above 30% in Abuja, 10 states. And on the foreign scene, ECOWAS court orders Ghana to pay $75,000 for detaining 30 unlawfully. And in sport, the Super Eagles under-20 coach planned squad overhaul accept blame for Nigeria 2025 AFCON loss. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. President Bola Tinubu is currently holding a high-level security meeting at the State House with service chiefs and Inspector General of Police. The intent behind the closed-door meeting remains unclear, but considering the personnel present, there is the likelihood that discussion will center on the recent attack on military bases and the escalating insecurity sweeping across different parts of the country. Those in attendance are Christopher Musa, the Chief of Defense Staff, Olufemi Oluyede, Chief of Army Staff, Hassan Abubakar, the Chief of Air Staff, Emmanuel Ogala, Chief of Naval Staff, and Kayode Egbetokun, the Inspector General of Police. The federal government has charged the Nigerian Armed Forces to intensify efforts to defeat terrorism in the country. President Bola Tinubu, who was represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, made this known at the induction to new Agota 107 Tracker helicopter into the Nigerian Air Force Order of Battle of the Presidential Air Fleet, APRON in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere has details.
Speaking at the event, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, reiterated that security remains a top priority of his administration and assured the military of continued support in line with the 8 priorities areas of the Renewed Hope agenda. Highlighting the strategic importance of the helicopter induction, the President pledged that his administration will remain steadfast in modernizing the armed forces and investing in cutting-edge defense technologies to confront both conventional and asymmetric threats.
Let me use this opportunity to assure you all that my administration will continue to support the Nigerian Air Force and indeed other security agencies by giving due attention and priority to fleet modernization as well as training and welfare of our men and women in uniform.
Earlier, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, described the induction as a major milestone in the service drive to modernize its fleet and enhance operational effectiveness across all theaters. He underscores the aircraft's role in supporting joint operations, air reconnaissance, close air support, and humanitarian missions.
It is designed to operate in challenging environments, providing critical support to both military and civil operations, including disaster relief and humanitarian missions. By inducting this platform into the Nigerian Air Force, the service is further strengthening its multi-domain operational capability, making us more responsive and efficient in the protection of Nigeria's territorial integrity.
The high point of the event was the induction of the Agusta 109 Tracker helicopter into the Nigerian Air Force Order of Battle.
Is brand new aircraft. It's made up of a fully articulated rotor system, enhanced engine system, and
with increasing threat from insurgency, the induction of newly acquired Agusta 109 Trackers helicopter into the Nigerian Air Force as the presidential fleet We enhance Nigerian Air Force mobility, surveillance and tactical support operations, as well as improve the rapid response capability. From Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja, Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja for Rome, the capital of Italy, on Saturday, on the invitation of Pope Leo XVI. Tinubu's special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, said the president will attend a solemn mass marking the beginning of pontificate of His Holiness Pope Leo, the 267th Bishop of Rome and the new leader of the Roman Catholic Church, accompanied by top Catholic leaders. In the papal invitation sent by Cardinal Pietro Parolin, Pope Leo underscored the need for President Tinubu's physical presence at this moment of particular importance for the Catholic Church and the world affected by many terrorism and conflicts. The House of Representatives has divided over a bill seeking to amend the Electoral Act 2022 to make voting compulsory for all Nigerians of voting age in national and state elections. The bill, which passed second reading during a plenary session presided over by Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, was jointly sponsored by the Speaker and Daniel Asama, a lawmaker from Plateau State. The proposed legislation stipulates penalties for eligible voters who fail to vote without valid justification, including a fine of 100,000 naira and a 6-month jail term or both. The Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria has urged the President Bola Tinubu-led administration to demonstrate tangible action towards tackling the country's social, economic and political challenges rather than dishing out mere promises. The Fellowship's National Secretary, Bishop David Bakari, who spoke with the journalists at the end of the retreat in Uyo, emphasized the importance of divine intervention, while also underscoring the role of leadership and governance. Bakari urged the president to show greater commitment to implementation of his administration's policies beyond rhetoric. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar says ex-President Olusegun Obasanjo swiftly ended Boko Haram's activities when the group first emerged during their administration. Speaking in Abuja during a visit by stakeholders from Kogi East Senatorial District, led by former Kogi State Deputy Governor Simon Achuba, Atiku attributed the early success against the insurgents to strong political will. Atiku, in a video shared on his Facebook page from the meeting, said Boko Haram first appeared in Yobe State in 2002, prompting Obasanjo to consult him on how to respond. The Benue State Governor, Hyacinth Alia, has expressed his administration's unwavering support for security agencies in their mission to maintain peace and order across the state. The governor, represented by his deputy, gave the assurance while receiving the zonal commander of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Zone 8 Makurdi, Assistant Commandant General Solomon T. Iyamo, at the Government House in Makurdi. Felicity Ndere reports.
Assistant Commandant General Solomon Iyano stated that the visit was to formally introduce the Zone 8 Command to the state government and to strengthen cooperation in safeguarding lives and property.
We are here, my command is here, and I believe the command has been synergizing with the state and other security agency and other stakeholders. And we are here also, sir, to also seek such collaboration with the states where we can come in every area we can come in, rendering our services, even though the state command has been doing very, very well.
receiving the delegation on behalf of the governor, Deputy Governor Sam Odi commended the Civil Defense Corps for its role in protecting critical infrastructure and regulating mining operations across the state.
I convey to you the assurances of the governor, the government, and the people of Benue State that we shall cooperate with you and all the members of your corps towards the greater objective to keep our territory very safe, away from organized crime and all the asymmetric warfare that we are witnessing lately, not only in Benue State but in other states of the Federation.
He urged the Corps to remain steadfast in carrying out its mandate of ensuring the safety and security of residents across the state. In Makudi, Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global TV News.
The bill seeking to establish the National Agency for Malaria Eradication has passed second reading in the Nigerian Senate during the plenary session. The sponsor of the bill, Senator Ned Nwoko, emphasized that malaria is a national emergency affecting maternal health, economic productivity, and overall national development, underscoring the urgency of creating NAME to coordinate malaria eradication efforts. Correspondent Godwin Sunday has more.
Senator Ned Nwoko says the establishment of National Agency for Malaria Eradication is expected to enhance coordination, resource mobilization, and implementation of malaria interventions to reduce the disease prevalence and mortality rate in Nigeria.
Malaria is not merely a public health issue. It is a structural crisis that impairs maternal health, drains economic productivity, and impedes national development. It accounts for approximately 11% of maternal mortality in Nigeria, contributing to severe anemia, miscarriages, stillbirths, infant deaths, tragic outcomes that disproportionately affect our most vulnerable citizens.
Several senators expressed strong support for the bill, highlighting the heavy malaria burden on Nigerians' population.
Malaria impact on infant mortality shows the impact on families and the impact it has where the young are most vulnerable. This bill will focus our attention on eradicating malaria, or at least in the first instance, reducing the impact in terms of death and in terms of sickness amongst the Nigerian people.
The time has come for us to look critically at this problem and to proffer solutions that will address the problem. Why I say so is because the lives of Nigerians and the devastating effect of malaria is beyond comprehension.
The Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barau Jubril, backed the bill, calling for a comprehensive and strategic approach to tackle malaria nationwide.
To establish National Agency for Malaria Eradication and for related matters, 2025 second reading taken. The bill is referred to the Committee on Health to report back within 4 weeks.
A public hearing on the bill is anticipated by June 2025, with calls for support from government agencies, health organizations, and research institutions to ensure its passage and effective implementation. Godwin Sunday, reporting for Global Television News.
The Senate has approved the confirmation of 5 resident electoral commissioners for the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The confirmation followed the presentation of a report by the Chairman Senate Committee on Electoral Matters, Simon Lalong. Our correspondent has the details. Those confirmed include Umar Garba, Kano, Said Idris, Bauchi, Chukwu Emeka Ibezako, Anambra, Umar Mutar, Borno, and Dr. Johnson Sinekem, Bayelsa.
that after carefully scrutinizing all the relevant documents of the nominees and due consideration of their level of exposure, experiences, performances, qualifications, and integrity. 1. Umar Yusuf Garba from Kano, Saad Umar Idris from Bauchi State, Chukwuemeka C. Ibezako from Anambra State, Umar Mukhtar from Borno State, and Dr. Johnson Alibo Sinekem from Bayelsa State.
After the confirmation, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, congratulated the new INEC regs and urged them to promote democratic values with integrity and patriotism.
Let me thank my colleagues and particularly thank the Committee on INEC and Electoral Matters and all the members for a job well done, and congratulate all the confirmed Western Electoral Commissioners today by the Nigerian Senate, and I want to wish them luck as they pilot the affairs of INEC in a fair and equitable manner to promote democracy and bring justice to all.
Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global TV News. In a different development, the Nigerian Senate has called on the federal government and relevant security agencies to secure the release of a Kogi monarch, Oba James Ogunyade, who was abducted in his palace by criminal elements in the early hours of Thursday. The upper legislative chamber equally urged local and state government to rise up to their responsibility by ensuring the safety of lives and properties under their jurisdiction. Here is Uyi Agbomofuegbe's report.
These are some of the resolutions reached after a brief debate on a motion presented on the floor by Kogi West Senator Sunday Karimi. In his lead debate, Senator Karimi expressed shock at the audacity of the criminal elements to have kidnapped the Obaloho of Ololoke from his palace in Yegba local government area of Kogi State. The Kogi West lawmaker, however, explained that the kidnappers are yet to reach out to the family of the monarch to demand for ransom.
The House also noted that the shocking event took place when suspected kidnappers stormed the palace of the referred second-class chief around 12 a.m., shooting sporadically into the air before whisking the traditional ruler away to an unknown location. A situation which has caused unprecedented tension in the communities as fears mount over his safety. We further note that Okoloke, which is a border town to Kwara State, is a very peaceful settlement that harbors both Hausas and Fulani settlers, and they have been living together in harmony until recently that criminal elements filter into the community to perpetuate this act.
After the debate, the Senate stressed the need to encourage vigilante groups with increased remuneration to enable them carry out their duties effectively.
Security agencies in the country, to, as a matter of urgency, deploy their security arsenals to secure the immediate release of the monarch from his abductors. Those in favor of this prayer, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Commend the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces for giving directives to the National Security Advisor to establish forest guards across the country to curb the rising spate of insecurity in the country and to draw Mr. President's attention to the Nigerian Forest Security Service Establishment Bill 2025, recently passed by the National Assembly, awaiting presidential assent. This bill can be brought back to accommodate Mr. President's line of thought regarding the setting up of the proposed forest guard. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
This latest kidnapping comes as federal lawmakers prepare to convene a national security summit aimed at formulating lasting solutions to Nigeria's persistent security challenges. Uyi Agbomofuegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Express. When News Express returns, Trump says he wants to meet Putin as soon as he can. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Stay with us. Now in business, the House of Representatives has urged the Federal Ministry of Finance and the Nigerian Customs Service to provide a detailed explanation of the methodology and criteria used in determining the 2% import surcharge remittance. They further called for the publication of a transparent framework for calculating and implementing the surcharge, in line with the provision of the Raw Material Research and Development Council Act 2022. Queen Agaba completes the story.
The Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Alausa, said
the House directed the Federal Ministry of Finance to ensure the accurate calculation and immediate remittance of all outstanding arrears of the 2% import surcharge to the Raw Materials Research and Development Council. This resolution followed the adoption of a motion moved by Honorable Aliu Abdullahi, who expressed concern over persistent irregularities in the calculation and remittance of the surcharge to the RMRDC. He noted that at present, the council is being paid a negligible amount of 0.05% with undefined sources, while warning that the lack of transparency and accountability in the remittance process undermines the intent and provisions of Section 12, Subsection 1, Subsection B of the RMRDC Act.
Worried that these irregularities or discrepancies, the lack of clarity created in the disbursement of the fund, arbitrarily void the provision or the law and have greatly hampered the development of the nation and continued to serve as a clog in the wheel of progress.
In a separate resolution, the House also directed the Federal Ministry of Health and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) and the Primary Healthcare Development Agency to enforce mandatory diphtheria immunization testing and treatment in healthcare facilities across all 774 local government areas of the country. Furthermore, the House tasked the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation to intensify public sensitization campaigns on the dangers, symptoms, and modes of transmission of diphtheria in a bid to curb its spread and prevent further fatalities. This followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance moved by Honorable Beatrice Lowry, who lamented that diphtheria continues to thrive in Africa due to low vaccination coverage. He observed that the disease remains virtually absent in countries such as the United States and those in Europe, where vaccination rates are high, stressing that diphtheria primarily threatens unvaccinated individuals, especially those who travel internationally or come in contact with infected persons.
That from May 2022 to February 2025, Nigeria has reported 41,978 suspected cases of diphtheria from Bauchi, Borno, Jigawa, Kaduna, Katsina, with Kano and Yobe states accounting for the highest number, 24,062 and 5,330 respectively.
The House of Representatives also passed bills to amend the North, Central, South-South, Southwest, and Southeast Development Commission Act 2025.
Consider the report on a bill for an act to amend the North Central Development Commission Act 2025 and for related matters and approve clauses 1 to 4, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill.
The bill is expected to pave the way for the appointment of additional executive directors to bolster administrative efficiency within the regional bodies. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Now on the foreign scene, the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs has said the global economy stands at a fragile turning point in escalating trade tension, growing policy uncertainties. The department in a report published stated that the tariff-driven price pressure were adding to inflation risk, leaving trade-dependent economies particularly vulnerable. And now from the world of sport, Flying Eagles head coach Aliyu Zubairu has taken full responsibility for his team's defeat to the Amajita of South Africa, even as he promised massive squad overhaul for the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Zubairu's side lost 1-0 to the Amajita of South Africa in their semi-final contest at the ongoing 2025 African Cup of Nations Under-20 on Thursday. The Flying Eagles dominated the game they were actually let down by their poor finishing. On Global TV News Express, President Bola Tinubu is currently holding a high-level security meeting at the State House with service chiefs and Inspector General of Police. And in business, the National Bureau of Statistics has released its Consumer Price Index report for April 2025, revealing a slight easing in Nigeria's inflation rate compared to previous months and the same period last year. And on the foreign scene, the ECOWAS Court of Justice has ordered the government of Ghana to pay $75,000 in damages to 30 members of the Homeland Study Group Foundation over their prolonged and unlawful detention. And in sport, a Flying Eagles head coach Aliyu Zubairu has taken full responsibility for his team's defeat to the Al-Majita of South Africa, even as he promised massive squad overhaul for the 2025 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. That's it on Global TV News Express. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigerian app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thank you for watching.